Hello dears. In today's class, we are going to discuss about kinematics. Okay. What is kinematics? Kinematics is nothing but it is a branch of physics that describe the motion of object without considering the forces. It focuses on key concepts like displacement, velocity, acceleration, and time. Okay, so in today's class, we will learn how to distinguish scalars and vectors, and also at the end of the lesson you will be able to represent a vector quantity. Okay, so before that you should know something, that is, what is the difference between distance and displacement? From this figure, can you tell me the difference between distance and displacement? What is distance and displacement? Okay, distance is nothing but total length of the path traveled by an object regardless of the direction. Here, for example, if you walk 3 kilometers from home to school, your path length is 3 kilometers. That is your distance. Here I am specifying only the magnitude. Only that means only the value. I didn't specify the direction, isn't it? So the distance has only magnitude. Distance is nothing but total length of the path traveled by an object. Okay. Now, what is displacement? Displacement is nothing but shortest straight line distance from the initial position to the final position. Okay. For example, if the straight line distance from home to school is 2 kilometers east, then your displacement is 2 kilometers east. Here we are specifying the magnitude as well as the direction, isn't it? So keep in mind, displacement, we are specifying magnitude and direction, whereas for distance we are specifying only magnitude. Okay. Now, what about the difference between speed and velocity? Speed is nothing but the rate at which an object covers distance. Okay. Now, what about velocity? Velocity is the rate of change of displacement or distance in specific direction. Displacement is nothing but distance in specific direction. The rate of change of displacement is velocity. Rate of change of distance is speed. Or simply we can say speed is nothing but how fast something is moving but does not indicate direction. Whereas velocity is how fast something is moving in a particular direction. Okay. So what's the formula for speed? Speed is distance over time. For what is the formula for velocity? Displacement over time. Okay, here you can see the example. A car moving at 60 km per hour. Here I am specifying only the magnitude. Okay, so it is speed. Velocity, a car moving 60 km per hour in east. Here I am specifying the magnitude as well as direction. Okay, now I think you understood the difference between displacement and distance as well as speed and velocity. Okay. Now we can move to a topic, that is vectors and scalars. What is a vector? A vector quantity has both magnitude and direction. In the previous example, we had seen that for displacement and velocity, we are specifying both magnitude and direction. Such physical quantities are called vector. A physical quantity which has both magnitude and direction is called vector. Okay. What about scalar? A scalar quantity has only magnitude. That means only a value. It is specific. Magnitude means it is specified completely by a single number along with a proper unit. So what are the examples of scalars? Mass, speed, distance, time, area, volume, density, energy, temperature, electric charge, etc. For these physical quantity, we can only specify with its magnitude, no direction. Okay. What about the examples of vectors? Velocity, force, pressure, displacement, acceleration, thrust, linear momentum, electric field, polarization, weight. Okay. Now, how to represent a vector quantity? A vector quantity is represented, vector quantity is represented like this. I will draw you. If I have a vector, I will represent this vector A as like this. And this is the arrow that representing vector. It has a tail and head. This gives the direction. The arrow indicates the direction. Okay. Here, for example, here weight acting downwards and a tension upwards. Okay. So we can represent the force as an arrow on the top of the F. Okay. Understood? Okay. In today's class, we had discussed what is the difference between scalars and vectors, as well as how to represent a vector quantity. Understood? Okay.